What is going on, everybody? I think I edited this video out to be 9 minutes. We've got 9 minutes to talk about this past weekend's games. I think this game actually turns out to be a really good game too, so you guys can sit back and check all that out. I think the first two, you guys are going to see it. I've got 3 games put into this one, but the first 2 games literally last a couple plays. The guys end up quitting out like after kickoff, after like a failed 4th down, and so you guys will see that. So after the first 2 edits are out, then the third game is where I think the game gets pretty good. So as you can hear it in my voice, my Patriots ended up losing, unfortunately. I haven't been on ESPN since the game ended, haven't watched any Sports Center, no First Take, no NFL Live, none of that nonsense. I just didn't want to see it, didn't want to read it. I watched the game front to back. The real part that stood out to me was we could not protect Tom. And in my opinion, I still think that the Kansas City front 7, if you include the linebackers and the defensive line, I think they're better than Denver's front 7. Maybe the coaching is just better. The scheming is better in Denver. But most of the time it was just a 4 or 5 man rush, and DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller were just having an absolute field day. It looked like I was watching Madden. It honestly looked like I was watching Madden, and you have an ultimate legend like Deacon Jones or a golden ticket JJ Watt or something, and they were just coming off the edge, and it was absolutely ridiculous how crazy we were getting whipped. And it didn't help that we came out in 5 wide almost every single rip. We didn't try to leave any running back protection. They tried to move Gronk around to chip DeMarcus Ware on his way out or Von Miller on his way out to a route, and that helped a little bit. But it was just glaring to see that we weren't able to pick that up. But even then, the way we lost the game, and I said it when it happened, when Gostkowski missed that kick, I said it out loud. That's going to be the reason we lose, was him missing that kick. And who knows if he makes that extra point and then we don't have to go for 2 at the end of the game. Who's to say we go into overtime and win? We could go into overtime, lose the coin toss, they drive downfield, score a touchdown, or whatever could happen in overtime. So there's no guarantee that just because he makes the extra point that we win in overtime. But I was liking our chances because the offense was looking really, really good in the 4th quarter. Granted, we got inside their 33 times and only came away with 6 points. But I think there was about 5 minutes left in the game, and we saw the ball 3 times, but we went for it on 4th down 3 times. Knowing that, you think we would have taken 3, but I understand Bill's logic and Josh McDaniel's logic. It was going under 5 minutes, and we were inside their 30, and we were down by 8. What are the chances that we actually got the ball back? You would think that Denver would be able to just run it on out, and we wouldn't have a chance to get the ball back. So you're thinking with 4 minutes left, we got to go for it. But seeing how our defense stood up after we went for it on 4th down, we forced them into a punt. We drive down again. This time we're looking at 3 minutes, 2 minutes. We don't get it on 4th down again. Then we stop them on offense another time. And we get the ball back again for a 3rd time. So if we take 3, just one of those chances, we don't have to go for 2. All we would have to do is just score a touchdown to win. But you kind of don't know that. Given where the clock was, I didn't think we were going to get the ball back. After the first 4th down, I was like, yeah, we have to go for this. I don't think we get the ball back. Well, we got the ball back another 2 times, and we just weren't able to do it. I think the offense took too late to go. I think we finally figured out better ways to pick up the pass rush towards the end of the game. I thought both defenses played great. I thought our defense played really good. Emmanuel Sanders was just pulling catches out of his asshole. He had 3 3rd and long catches that man, I don't think he catches those 10 times out of 10. It was just he stepped up in big situations. He had people in his face, people slapping the ball, cracking him right when he would catch the ball, and he was not dropping that thing. But I think we did a great job. I think we gave up 1 big run. I don't have the stats in front of me. I haven't recapped the stats of the game. But I thought we played great on defense. We did such a much better job stopping up the run. Let me see if I can pull up the stats real quick. with the run so I could see how much we gave up, because I think we gave up like 180 when we faced them during the season. And then we ended up giving up a total of 99. Yeah, that one big run, that like 30-yard run, um, was really one of the things that cost us, because that gave them a field goal there towards the end. But I just think we just didn't have an answer for that pass rush. We did not have an answer, and I thought we would have. I thought we would have had a lot better answer about that pass rush. We just weren't able to do it. So the Broncos advanced to the Super Bowl, and then on the other side of the matchup, Carolina just out there smacking them. Part of it was Carolina was just playing great, and then I don't know what. It's like as soon as the postseason started, Carson Palmer, his confidence level went from like 100 to 0, like overnight. In the regular season, they were talking MVP. He was my fantasy football quarterback. I think he was the best person I drafted all fantasy. I mean, he was the best person I drafted during the fantasy football draft, because that man was putting up 20 to 30 fantasy points weekly, playing amazing, and he wasn't throwing interceptions. But they squeaked by Green Bay, because he almost cost that game. And then I think he threw 3 or 4 interceptions last night. And it was in the first half. They had 4 turnovers. And then Patrick Peterson, Cam throws a duck. Pat Pete almost runs it back to like the 30. And then Carson floats one into the end zone, and it gets picked right back up. They had chances to stop the bleeding. I think it was 17-0. They had a chance to make it like 17-7. And they had multiple chances to make it like 17-14, and they just were not. That offense just looked horrendous. The defense could only do so much. But even as great as the Cardinals' defense was, they were leaving people wide open. Funches and is the man's name Norwood? I'm not familiar with the Carolina receivers. I know they have Funches. I forget the man's name if it's Norwood. Of course, Kelvin Benjamin, but he's hurt. And then you've got Stewart, Olsen, Tolbert, all that stuff. And they just rolled over the Cardinals. It wasn't even a game. Once it got to 17-0, and I saw Carson throw that last interception right before half, right before Cam took the knees, I just knew it was pretty much game over. They had no answer on either side of the ball. And I just don't see how, unless Carolina has a complete meltdown. But the Broncos, I mean, you do have 2 weeks. You get to watch tape, and all you have to do is just focus and scheme on one game. The Broncos do have a chance, because if they didn't have a chance, they wouldn't play the game. But I just don't see how Carolina doesn't win this Super Bowl. Of course, we'll talk about it again in 2 weeks, that Thursday. I give you guys the last video before Super Bowl Sunday. We'll preview the game. We'll dive into it real deep, see what picks we want to go with or who we want to decide. But right now, just off the top, just seeing what I've seen, I just don't see how Carolina doesn't win the game. They've just been kind of rolling all season. The game's kind of set up how they needed to. Everybody's pretty much healthy, but I don't think anybody's glaringly hurt on Denver either. Nothing that's going to make a crazy huge difference. Carolina just looks like the better team right now. They made it. They just rolled over Seattle again, even though they kind of let up there towards the end, and then they roll over the Cardinals. I just don't see how they lose. So my prediction is that the Panthers will win. And then once the Super Bowl ends, we'll go through every division and talk about 4 teams in one video and see what teams need to do to make their team better in the draft and the offseason and all that good stuff. Just off the top of my head, we have to work. Well, our offensive line did get hurt. We are missing like 2 starters, and then we got to find a run game. But we'll figure it out, guys. We'll talk about all that. All the links are in the description. Like it if you enjoyed, subscribe. And as always, deuces.